everybody. My name's Connor Ray, and I'm going to be taking you on a virtual tour of Rose-Hulman's campus today, which I'm very excited about. A little bit about myself before we get started. I'm a senior chemical engineering and chemistry double major here at Rose. So I've been around campus for a good while. You can get a peek in one of our classrooms here. And like I said, typical classroom, just some desks and chairs. There'll be a whiteboard in the front, usually the back as well, a couple projectors in case they want to use PowerPoint slides or whatever, and a professor up at the front giving a lecture. So we have a couple lecture halls on campus, but they're not really used for lectures a ton. They're really more for presentations and kind of bigger events like that. But I have actually had a couple classes in there, and it always feels kind of weird because it's usually like 10 to 20 people in this giant lecture hall for 150 folks. So it always feels a bit more empty than anything. But yeah, most of your classes are going to be in this kind of smaller setting where you just have a couple tables and chairs, like I said. So it's really kind of a nice personalized environment for sure. And because it's so small, the professors, like I said, they know you after the first week. And their offices are always open too. Like whenever they're around and they're not teaching a class, even if it's not their office hours, they're happy to have you come in and ask them questions. All the faculty who are here at Rose, they're here to help you succeed. Like they want you to do as well as you want to do. Rose isn't a huge research school or anything like that. We're not here to get a bunch of grant funding. So all the professors that come here are mostly here for teaching. Like that's their primary focus in their job is teaching students. So they'll do whatever they can to kind of help you get along and get through the classes you're taking with them, which is really nice to have that kind of support network built in. Right here we have our library. This is right next to all of our academic halls. So there's a lot going on in the library, so you can see some of the pictures kind of here of the interior space. I'm actually going to take one of the 360 views inside because I can kind of point to different stuff as we look around here. So I believe there we go. There it popped up. I really love these 360 pictures. You kind of get to look around and everything. So this is our library. You kind of walk in from over there. This first floor area is a lot of group workspaces, so you can see a lot of tables and chairs out in the areas. There's different glass rooms around the side you can actually reserve online just for free for a couple hours as a student. So if you have a group meeting or if you have a Skype interview or something like that, you can reserve one of these spaces. And they're pretty much soundproof, so you can get a lot of good work done in there, which is nice. Over here in that kind of back corner we have the Center for Student Academic Success. So that's run by Sarah Forbes, super great lady. That whole office's job is to essentially help with the academic transition from high school to college. Rose-Hulman gets a lot of kids who went to high school, super smart, top of their class, breezed through everything, got straight A's, never had to study, and then they come to Rose and it's like, oh man, this is actually pretty tough. So what that whole office's job is to kind of help pick up the skills that you might not have gotten in high school, like how to study, how to prioritize things, how to effectively manage your time, that sort of stuff, just to stay afloat academically. So Rose provides a lot of resources to help students succeed academically, which is really nice. It's a tough school, but they make sure that everyone who's here, has everything they need to succeed. And truly everybody that does get accepted into Rose can get through it, like with working with other people, working with the resources you're given. It is definitely possible. So down there we also have Learning Center tutors. So for Rose-Hulman students, there are other Rose-Hulman students who are there to help tutor you through your classes. So if you're stuck doing a calc problem or something like that, they're open during the day, like regular business hours, like 8 to 5 or something like that, but they also have office hours from 7 to 10 at night. So if you're up late doing homework, they're more than happy to help you out with whatever you might be working on. We also have the testing center downstairs. They have a bunch of old exams and stuff like that professors have given out in the past. So if you have, let's say, a physics test coming up next week and you don't know what a Rose-Hulman exam is like, you don't know what that professor's exams are like, you can go down there and pick up one of that professor's exams from a year or two ago just to kind of see what they're like, maybe help you study a bit, do some more practice problems, and also just get a feel for the format of everything. So really kind of a nice way, like I said, another tool just to kind of help you succeed a bit more easily at Rose, which is super nice. So then moving on from there, we have our two innovation centers. So we have the BIC and the KIC. This picture is actually a bit outdated, so if I use this little street view guy here, we'll see a building magically appear. Hold on, let me click this bubble right here. So this is an older view, and as you can see, the street view is a bit more updated. So as you can see here, we actually have a full another building attached right there. So this one that kind of comes out here is the KIC. That's the newer edition, and then the BIC is in the back. They stand for the Branham Innovation Center and then the Kramer Innovation Center. So these spaces are all for student-directed, sort of like extracurricular, hands-on building stuff. So if you were on like robotics or anything like that in high school, or Science Olympiad, I know they had some events like this. This is a great kind of analog for that, but at a much higher setting, obviously. Let me click here and see if we can click through some of these pictures. So yeah, that's a nice picture of the outside. If you get to the inside, so this is the inside of the Kick. We have a bunch of different workspaces, obviously, a lot of different tools and stuff, and there's it's kind of sanctioned off at what the different teams are. So right here we have our robotics team, so they have a bunch of different sub-teams in there. They have like a Mars rover team, they have a combat robotics team, an underwater robotics team, so kind of whatever you're interested in, they have stuff to do. The Maker Lab back here, they do a lot of 3D printing. I think they have like, last I checked, I can think of at least like 7 off the top of my head about where they are, different 3D printers, but they probably have more than that, to be honest. So that's something you're interested in all. They have a bunch of students there to help you do that, and it's all free too. So I actually printed off a gift for a friend of mine for this past Christmas with the Maker Lab, and it's just, you just design the part yourself and get it printed on their printers, and it's super convenient. But if you have any personal projects and stuff you want to do, they also have like laser cutters and things like that you can use as well. And like I said, everything in these buildings is free for students. It's all hands-on. All you have to do is just go through like a training lesson or two just to figure out how to like use the equipment itself. But after that, you're welcome to kind of go at it and build stuff for your team or for your own personal projects. Here you can see the Maker Lab a bit closer up. It's expanded a lot since this picture was taken. There's a lot more equipment going on in there. We also have a full like fabrication lab in this building as well too. So they have a big old CNC machine and a bunch of different kind of larger scale fabrication stuff. There's also some classrooms along the side back here, so different mechanical engineering classrooms and labs. There's like a thermofluids lab. There's some wind tunnels in here too for different aerodynamics testings. So a lot of cool spaces in here. And then this is the BIC. This is more kind of like a garage feel to it. So this is where we have some like larger scale competition teams. So human powered vehicle right here. They design a very aerodynamic human powered vehicle. So they take that to compete in different races across the world pretty much. I think it was my sophomore year, they went to Australia for a competition. So a lot of our big teams get a lot of funding from Rose, but also from third party like companies and stuff like that, because people who recruit college students love to see people getting that hands-on experience before you even graduate. So we have a couple different teams in here. Grand Prix Engineering, they make pretty much a scaled-down Formula 1 car every year, so if you're into car stuff, they build a car pretty much from scratch. They design it all online, or on like CAD and stuff like that. They'll do like aerodynamic testing through a supercomputer at ISU's campus. They'll weld everything, paint everything, put all the electronics together, the engine, all that kind of stuff. So it's really kind of cool for a lot of hands-on things. Concrete Canoe is a big civil engineering team. They make a canoe out of concrete, as the name implies, and they take that to compete at the different civil engineering conferences across the country as well. I'm on the ChemiCar team. We make a car powered by a chemical reaction every year. Kind of small, maybe the size of like 2 shoeboxes or so. It's not a huge thing that you would ride in, but it's kind of cool to blend mechanical stuff with some chemistry stuff as well. So I get just a bunch of different opportunities and a bunch of different resources for you to learn how to use different machine stuff too. We have a full machine shop in here with a lathe and sawmills and presses and all that kind of stuff. So and training lessons offered throughout the year for different safety and different ways to use the equipment. We have a paint booth, a bunch of different kind of cool stuff to use. So really a great space. Definitely get involved with that if you like building stuff. That is the place to go. Now we're going to take a look at some of our athletic facilities really quick, and then some of our res hall stuff, and then that'll be it for the tour. So we'll just keep on going here. So as you pull on a campus, if you come from, this is the way a lot of people come from, you'll see our baseball fields first. So this is our baseball and softball field, right in the front of campus, really nice facilities. A lot of the rest of our athletic facilities, are in the back of campus. So you can see back here, this is kind of our entire athletic complex more or less. So we have our intramural fields back here. So intramurals, or IMs as we call them, are kind of a big thing on Rose's campus. So a lot of res hall teams and Greek life will make their own intramural teams throughout the year, and they'll just play. It's usually like 1 or 2 games a week. You just get a chance to go run around for an hour and play some friendly, sports against some of your friends. So I know we have like soccer, ultimate frisbee, flag football, volleyball, basketball, a bunch of stuff like that. So these are where the outdoor ones are played during the year. So a lot of just a fun way to relax. We have our tennis courts here, is over our football field. This is actually an older picture. It just got renewed this past summer. It's a brand new like turf field now, so it looks really nice and shiny, so a lot nicer than what it looks like in this picture currently. And then we have our SRC right here, so our Sports and Recreation Center. I think we can actually get some nicer views on the inside here. So I believe this one shows the pool. So you have a full-size pool for a swimming and diving team. You can also use it just to swim recreationally as well. We'll also do fun events throughout the year like canoe battleship and log rolling competitions and all that kind of stuff. I know some students also work here as lifeguards too, as like a work-study job on campus. I know a lot of friends of mine in high school did that, so I know a lot of kids who came here and started to do that here as well. So really nice facilities. And then moving along on the inside, I think we can get a shot of our arena, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. So here's our sort of main varsity sports arenas. This is where our varsity basketball and volleyball games are played. And we have pep rallies and stuff like that throughout the year as well in here too. So just kind of our main sort of athletic space for indoor sports like that. All of our sporting events, I should mention too, are free for students to go to. So football games, basketball games, soccer games, kind of whatever you're interested in. If you're looking for something to do on a weekend, it's a great way to kind of get involved and go cheer on the fighting engineers throughout the week. So especially if you have a friend or something on the team, it's really kind of a nice way to stay involved and show them your support. And then if we hop into the main field house here, I think this will show us the inside. Yep. So this is sort of the main field house of the SRC. So obviously a huge space, a bunch of different events here throughout the year. These different like dividers can be raised or lowered, whatever you need them to be. So you can split this whole area up into like 5 different courts or something like that. If you want to come out with just some of your buddies and play some basketball, you can ask the desk to move some of the basketball nets for you. They can set that up. They can set up volleyball nets. They can set up badminton, indoor tennis, all that kind of stuff. We have like batting cages over there that can be raised or lowered for the different baseball and softball teams. So a lot of customizability. Whenever it's not being used by like a varsity sports team, you can come down here and, like I said, just kind of play some games with your friends, which is really kind of cool. In this area we have our full weight room, so really nice view of the outside too, but a weight room in there, and then around the corner on the inside we have our cardio room with different like treadmills, ellipticals, more like weightlifting equipment, that kind of stuff. So a lot of different spaces in here, and this building is open from like 6 in the morning to like 1 in the morning or something like that. So whenever you have time to get a workout in, they're usually open for you to come and do that. So really a nice space, very new looking inside. So